New questions now about that infamous Steele dossier that was the basis for issuing warrants to surveil Trump advisor Carter Page and any alleged contacts that he might have with Russia. Here now is James Trusty, a former DOJ prosecutor. So the latest wrinkle in this story has to do with a memo that the Deputy Assistant Secretary of State wrote contemporaneously, talking about a meeting that she had with Christopher Steele before the dossier was used to get the warrant in the FISA court. And he had told her a bunch of stories, including this story about how from the Russian embassy in Miami, they were running a hacking and recruiting ring trying to get Americans. And at the time she wrote in the note, there isn't even a Russian embassy in Miami, so this guy has no credibility. This was before the FBI swore under an oath to the FISA court, to their judges, that their informant was reliable and they were unaware of any derogatory information pertaining to him. What does that mean to you?
Well, look, if that nugget it bears out as being accurate, that he's specifically referring to an invisible or non-existent embassy in Miami, then that's a big sign. Exactly what the communication flow was from State Department to the FBI, we don't know yet. But here's the bottom line: the OIG Inspector General is looking into the origination of this case, looking into how that dossier was used, and that may be one of the tipping points that makes it clear that it shouldn't have been used. But we have to look at the full affidavits, have to know exactly what the FBI agents have to say, what they knew when. But there's a lot of smoke, and there may be some fire about knowing that this dossier was essentially a political hack document that was never going to stand up.
So the last Inspector General's report was pretty scathing. And he came out and said that he thought Andrew McCabe had lied under oath at least 3 times, and McCabe was fired as a result of that. So that kind of indicates that this one, could be pretty scathing as well. What do you think?
Well, it could. I actually think the Inspector General reports tend to be very deferential to the folks in law enforcement when it comes to decision making. Like, if you could choose A or choose B, they tend to say either one is fine, even if A is what 95% of professional prosecutors or agents would choose. But I will tell you this: I do think there's a lot of room for concern that in the highly politicized office that you had, the front office of the FBI, Comey, McCabe, Strzok, Page, that there's going to be more that drops out of this report that's devastating for their reputations and shows there was kind of a political class operating at the top levels of the FBI. I don't think it's the same for the agents. I know a lot of agents. I saw some even yesterday. But at that time in 2016, it looks like the wrong people were dealing with the most sensitive public integrity type investigations you could have.
Okay, so you just said, you were talking with people from the FBI as recently as yesterday. There's this narrative that goes back and forth. One side saying that those inside the FBI are horrified and embarrassed by James Comey's publicity tour and all of these things that are coming out and are damaging their reputation, and they wish that those at the top, would stop. And then there's the other side, or James Comey himself, who says he's out defending the integrity of the FBI and not letting, President Trump wreck their reputation. What's really the feeling inside the FBI, in your opinion?
Well, look, I can't speak for all of them, but I think it's a very false protective mode for Comey and McCabe. They've both done this, where they stand up and say, how dare you attack the FBI? Don't denigrate this institution, when they're really talking about themselves. And so a lot of the agents I talk to are sick of it. They don't want to see an FBI director on The View. They don't want to see FBI guys walking around without their tie on and being cool on social media and pondering over the deep issues in their lives. And they don't want kiss and tell books from law enforcement professionals. You think back to the history of the FBI, I don't think you ever had a situation where the director was going to run out on a book tour and complain that the president was a bully to him. So, again, it's just kind of against the DNA of most people in law enforcement to go down the road that Comey and to some extent McCabe have been going down.
I wonder if it's always been like that at the top of the FBI or if it's just now. We'll see.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Lots of stories about Hoover, too, but not the same kind of flavor that we're getting right now.
Please come back soon. Thanks for your time.
Sure. Good talking to you, Melissa.
All right.